evening and welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. We start every meeting with a pledge of the flag, so if you'll join me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for everyone that's here tonight. I'm filling in while Mr. Johnson is enjoying some well-deserved time away with family tonight. So we're going to start off tonight with the approval and adoption of the agenda. The adoption of the consent agenda upon motion and a second, affirmative vote, we accept the agenda. So we have hopefully a tight agenda tonight with personnel and new business all in consent. Does anyone willing to bring that to the table?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Next up, we have our first opportunity to hear from the public. The board has reserved this time. Oh, sorry, we have to vote on it. Thank you. A little help from my friends. I appreciate that. Oh, yes. Can we approve the agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So next, on to hearing from the public. Those wishing to address the board are asked to stand, give their name and address, and limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. Concerns or comments during this session should be directly related to the items listed on the proposed agenda for the meeting. Do we have anyone that would like to address the board tonight? No one from this wonderful crowd tonight? Really? Okay. Okay, so moving on. Approving the minutes from our last meeting, the regular meeting of November 4th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. And Ms. Gullo. All those in favor? Aye. Great. Moving on to our financial treasurer's report. We have the tax collector's report. Mr. Forbes?
Yep, this is the report for the 25-26 school tax collection. We received 93.67% of our estimated levy, which compares to previous years. We're generally in that 93 to 94% range, so thank you to the committee for that. I just wanted to thank Kathy Wright, who used to be our tax collector a number of years ago, who did a lot of the upfront work getting the tax bills ready to be mailed. There were no significant issues other than we had some type of mail issue, which seemed to be the general Van Buren, Greencrest, Van Buren Point area. I talked to a lot of people out there who were calling for the tax bills, but everybody was pretty cool about that. So this will be submitted to the county after it's board approved.
Any questions? Okay, do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on, we have some contracts with outside agencies to approve. We have a contract with Lakeshore Central School District for data privacy and security support. So, Dr. Ziliak?
Oh yeah, you might remember this from last year. This is a service that Lakeshore started providing a year ago, and what they basically found is that a lot of the individuals that were coming into districts in the position of data officer needed a little bit of support. They happen to have a person with a high degree of expertise in this area. This represents a great bang for our buck for the district. Very small fee for the monthly sessions that we get attached to it, and it helps us manage this process, and especially the reporting that needs to go back to New York State. So this has been very helpful, and we're going to continue it in year 2.
Any questions or comments?
Could you, Dr. Ziliak, could you just speak to how this comes into play with like shared services and saving the district money? Do you know, or a rough estimate, what we would spend if we had to hire someone full-time to do this, or is that something that's easily?
I think the real advantage it gives us, because we could be part of a COSER or part of a service without someone being in the district, and then there's oftentimes a disconnect. So I think the real advantage here is it keeps it in-house, but also allows someone to learn and grow with some oversight and some mentoring. So that's I think the real benefit to us. And also a larger savings with keeping it here amongst our employees, so.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
We didn't have a second on that?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great, okay. So moving on to personnel, which we approved in consent, and new business also in consent. So we're right back to the public. Do we have anyone that would like to address the board? All of these great students here. No comments, questions? Nothing even for your student reps? Thank you.
Hi, Michelle Greeno, I'm Fredonia Teachers Association. I live at 7849 Plank Road, Cherry Creek. I just want to say today is our day to recognize school-related professionals, and our teacher aides, our custodians, our cafeteria workers, our secretaries, and I'm leaving out a whole bunch of them. They really help this place run so smoothly. They keep our kids safe, they keep our areas clean, and they feed our kids, and they hold their hands, and they help them in so many different ways. So the Teachers Association is so grateful for everything that they do, and we just want to give a little public support for them because they really are wonderful, and we're so lucky to have the great people we have who work for so little and do so much. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Greeno. We agree that we need everyone in a building to get the job done, so thank you for calling that out. Anyone else? Okay. Dr. Zilios.
Yeah, a couple items in the superintendent report, kind of piggybacking on Mrs. Greenhouse's comments. Just to go back to our agenda, we did approve 2 teacher aides probationary tonight, Laura Riddle and Janet Cruz. So welcome to both of them. We're very excited to have them on board. As Ms. Greenow mentioned, again, just to touch on, and I missed exactly who she referred to, but we are talking about teacher aide or monitors, teaching assistants, school nurses, secretaries and clerks, custodians and cleaners, bus drivers and or monitors, food service, and also any security personnel. So yes, it is School-Related Professionals Day, and there were some emails floating around today recognizing people and some gestures of appreciation, but we wanted to publicly here tonight relay our thanks and appreciation for all that is done to keep the district running smoothly on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot of support given to our students, our faculty, our administration, also our families through the number of these positions. So thank you to everybody. We really appreciate you and hope that you had a great day. Also, on note connected to kind of our building, every once in a while we come across some items that Nick Bertrando did recently, and if you go by our trophy cases down by the hallway, by the cafeteria, going back to the tech wing, going back to district office, you'll see a number of things here that have been framed and hung on the wall, and just some blasts from the past, some sweaters, some jerseys that are now lining that area in the hall, but I thought that was a nice gesture on Mr. Bertrando's part to make these things, continue to have a life in our district rather than being in a box or somewhere closed away. So a little recognition of the past along with our trophies in that area, so just FYI. Also wanted to put out there that you might notice Mr. Tonelli is not here tonight. He is actually at a ceremony over at BOCES for the National Technical Honor Society, and we did have a student recognized tonight. Natasha Kemp, who's in the criminal justice program, is being inducted, so congratulations to her, and thanks for Mr. Tonelli for making the ride over, and hopefully we'll have a picture and some things to post on social media tomorrow. But congratulations to Natasha. Also, On a not so upbeat note, I did want to recognize here tonight the situation that occurred in Jamestown yesterday. I've been in contact with their superintendent, Kevin Whitaker, and it's been an incredibly difficult time with the loss of a young student as a result of a bus accident. So we just wanted to take a moment to extend our deep sympathy to all involved, parents, the family, and everybody else in the Jamestown community who's been impacted by this. This has also caused us to think a little bit about our own procedures and protocols on our bus loops and potentially making some adjustments, just in an effort to make sure that we're keeping everybody as safe as possible at all times. You know, in moments we are dealing with some younger students, and as we found out, things can happen. So we are taking a moment to reflect here, but again, want to extend our sympathy to everybody in Jamestown as well. Also wanted to let everybody know that Mrs. Fortna, Mrs. Hahn, and myself all attended a legislative breakfast this past weekend in which our superintendents get together along with board members and really try to connect with local legislators and make them aware of some of our concerns, some of the things that we're prioritizing, some of the things that we would like to see them keep in mind as they're interacting or eventually voting on different initiatives across the county, across the state. So that occurred this past Saturday at the White Inn. I also wanted to take a moment to make people aware also of our conversations in the district continue around our fundraising for athletics and Booster Club, and we had a meeting last week to further that conversation. We're close to having a list of guiding principles that will kind of oversee those efforts, which we have not had in place in the past, and we think that will be helpful, and to offer some clarity, some transparency, some accountability, and some communication around those efforts. So more to follow on that front. Similar, also coming up on December 9th, we have a Board of Education Facilities meeting. We are going to be touring those areas that came up at our recent board meeting around accessibility and concerns in those areas. So our board committee is going to take a look at those areas firsthand. In the meantime, Young and Right is helping us review those areas, re-examine those areas, and also bring forward some options for potential work that could be done. I also just wanted to share, I think, some good news through our student reps and give you guys a chance to share some information with us tonight. So, thank you.
So we want everyone to be aware that we're planning to present information about the 7 habits at our next Board of Education meeting on December 9th, along with some other members of the high school student body. So we look forward to sharing the information then. We also want to focus on some more good news across the district. Congratulations to The Spectator for winning 11 awards, including Best Overall Newspaper in the recent Empire State School Press Association competition hosted by the Newhouse School of Public Communications at Syracuse. Also, congrats to the over 30 high school students who were inducted into the National Honor Society earlier this month. Congratulations to both Izzy Shikansky and Pietro Kubica as they qualified for the 2025 New York State Cross Country Championships this past weekend. Congratulations to our girls tennis team who were league champs again this year. And congratulations to our winners of the CCAA Girls Swimming Championships this year. They were Georgie May in the 50-yard freestyle and Brooklyn Smith in the 1-meter diving competition.
Congrats also to the following teams, which all had playoff wins during the fall season: the girls varsity soccer, boys varsity soccer, and girls varsity volleyball. Also congrats to our varsity football team, who ended their season strong with a 16-7 rivalry victory over Dunkirk. We also want to share congratulations to the Fredonia boys modified soccer team that finished their season with a 12-1-1 record, taking the league championship with a 3-2 victory over Southwestern in double overtime. Thanks to everyone who participated in our Veterans Day celebration earlier in the month, Thanks again to all our local veterans for their service, dedication, and commitment to our country. Congrats to 3 of our high school art students, Trillium, Mason DeMello, Brooklyn Smith, and Kaylee Haida, who were selected to participate in the statewide art exhibit sponsored by the New York State Art Teachers Association. Congratulations to Jameson Bielizewski for being named Western New York P-Tech Student of the Month earlier this fall. Congrats again to our FCSD Music Department for being the 2025 recipient of the New York State School Music Association Presidential Citation Award, which is the highest and most competitive honor granted by this organization. Congrats to Claire McMurtry D'Amato, who was accepted as a member of the All-State String Orchestra, and Grant Abbey, who was accepted as a member of the All-State Symphony Orchestra. This is a huge and rare honor for high school music students. And as you can see, we have a lot to be proud of during the first portion of the school year, and we're looking forward to sharing more good news in the future.
And who knew Grant would actually be here today? Nicely done. It's always nice to focus on some good news as part of our meeting, so thanks for bringing those items forward, and we appreciate it. Unless you have any questions or comments, that wraps up the superintendent's report.
Well, thank you for sharing all of that important information. A few announcements. Our next regular Board of Education meeting will be Tuesday, December 9th at 6 p.m. right here in the school library. So we'll look forward and wishing everyone a very happy Thanksgiving holiday and a little bit of a break next week. And we will see everyone back here in December. But we'll give the opportunity, Ms. Polhamus, if you'd like to kick us off tonight.
Sure. So I want to echo the thank you for our school-related professionals. They are absolutely integral to the functioning of all of our buildings. So, I mean, we couldn't do what we do without them. So I appreciate their flexibility, willingness to jump in whenever needed in a variety of different capacities. So they are tremendously utilized in our buildings. Also, the middle school musical preview is tomorrow. The highly anticipated show will then take place on Friday night and 2 shows on Saturday. So the kids are always really excited to see all of their friends and their peers up on stage. It always drums up a lot of business too in ticket sales, so that's helpful. And finally, just continuing with our attendance prizes, now that we've started the second quarter, we've shifted the incentive in their building chain links leading up to winter break, still with some incentives built in there, but it really is very motivating to the kids, and they are, they're coming to school, which is the goal.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. So today our elementary school students had the opportunity to hold a real gold Olympic medal. It was kind of cool, and we actually had 3 of them in the auditorium today because we welcomed this individual named Adam Page, and he's a 3-time Olympic gold medal winner at the Paralympics. He was born with spina bifida, he's a local guy, and he brought his energy to the odd today. So he brought in like the sled that he sits on. The kids got to see that. They got to learn how you play para hockey. He brought in the sticks. We passed the gold medals around, and then he also wrote a book called Adam's Way, and it's about overcoming obstacles throughout elementary school and into high school, and setting goals and working hard to achieve them. So he read that. He signed a few copies for kids, and we wrapped them off. So it was really good. And then some kids got to stay late and kind of pick up the sled and shoot some hockey pucks and things like that. It was actually really cool. So it was really well received. We had a lot of energy in the auditorium this morning, and it was touching but fun, and there was a lot of energy. So that was a really good opportunity for our kids. And he co-founded this thing called the Greater Buffalo Adaptive Sports, and I learned that they have 30 wheelchairs that they bring to schools, and they put kids in them for PE class, and then they teach the kids how to play lacrosse and basketball. So I said, sign us up, and they said, let's make this happen after the new year. So I think it's kind of cool. So we'll keep that relationship with this organization going. So that was fun. So it was really cool. And then every year, our 4th grade this time of year does their Balloons Over Broadway thematic unit. They read the picture book. It started with just like 1 or 2 teachers doing it. This year, all of the 5 teachers in the 4th grade are doing this, and they're branching out to our special areas. So today there was a collaboration between STEM and the 4th grade, and they're taking like balloons, but they're adding like animatronics to them, so like the balloons are gonna move, with little, robots that Mrs. Gray had for the kids. So we're kind of making this a really big thing this year, which is great. And then lastly, you know, our teachers go above and beyond all the time, and we have a little third grader who was just diagnosed with lymphoma, and he'll be out of school for the next couple of months. So our teachers kind of rallied together. So Monday you'll see is Courage for Carter Day. Everyone's encouraged to wear green, and they're doing a little collection for him and his family, and we wish him well in this process. That's all we have.
Thank you.
So, just to tag along with what Mark said about Adam Page, I wanted to thank Christy Leone, who really suggested him to us and was instrumental in helping just collaborate on that, so thanks to Christy. The Cool School Polar Plunge is coming right up, so that'll be Friday, December 5th at Woodlawn Beach State Park. Sorry, I've got a bug flying around me. The goal is to raise $10,000. As of 4 o'clock today, there was a little over 4,000 already raised. I'm sure that amount is higher at this moment. So that's coming up. You know, I reached out to staff for some news today to share, and speaking of cool, I thought it was very cool that 2 of our new teachers wrote me back, and they said, you know, one, Emily Dunn, who just started last week, literally, asked me to express her gratitude to the board. She said she's really glad to be here. She feels that her position is a great fit, and she loves being part of the friendly and helpful high school team. Likewise, one of our new middle school teachers, Chad Sinkoviak, noted how collaborative, supportive, and accepting his coworkers are. So I thought that was really nice that was some input they wanted to share. I got some instructional highlights. Amanda Kent, who teaches middle school 1211, has recently done some lessons on tolerance, acceptance, and opportunities to make connections, as well as has used, she described some projects she did, but I will say they were very hands-on, constructivist approaches to learning about the human body and the solar system, so that was cool. 2 of our instructional leaders, Lori Marks and Rihanna Kelly, middle school and high school respectively, attended the first special ed forum last week, and they reported the time spent as energizing and worthwhile, and they were excited to have special education is at the forefront as the focus for topics such as portrait of a graduate. And news from the elementary, Samantha Gambino has an 813 classroom, and that group of students enjoyed some time with Kristen Tomaszewski's classroom in Mimi Joint's Garden Club, where they harvested, roasted, and shared some pumpkin seeds, very lively. And Mrs. Gambino's group also enjoyed a trip to Home Depot just last week, where they practiced some communication skills, social skills, collaborative skills, among others, and they had an opportunity to tour the store and build mini excavators and had a great time. So,
Thank you. You're welcome.
Say hi to so many of my former students. It's so great to see them here. It's nice to see you guys. So we are getting ready for Thanksgiving. We are preparing for our friendship feast. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. Our friendship feast next week on Tuesday. We have high school ambassadors coming. I think we have between 15 and 20 high school ambassadors that are coming over, and we're going to have our first annual turkey trot at Wheelock, which we're very excited about. We're having the kids dress up in costumes and do a couple laps around Wheelock, so it should be super fun. Just to really focus on, we're going to have a Wheelock gathering prior to that, talking about some of our habits that we're working on, and then end it with some fitness. Also, I'm excited to announce the SUNY Fredonia Women's Lacrosse team contacted me and are coming over to do some volunteer work. They need to do some community service, so they wanted to come over and to spend some time at Wheelock. Some of the students are already coming for some of their field experience placements. They've enjoyed their time there, so they've asked if they can come over and spend some time. So we approved them. Thank you for allowing them to come over and spend some time at Wheelock. And then last but certainly not least, we have 6 teachers this week at the National Association for the Education of the Young Child in Orlando, Florida. To top it off, Linda Kaminsky is presenting at the national level on Saturday, and we're just all so very proud of her and excited for her, and just so glad that so many of our teachers could go participate at the national level. So, pretty exciting week for them.
It's very exciting, and I definitely appreciated your Wheelock Facebook post for Linda, which all of our teachers are incredibly wonderful, but the response from the community
Hundreds. It was
was really wonderful
And
to
yeah,
see.
just things that she deserved to hear, so. And it was perfect right before she went to go present, so it was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's nothing else, we do anticipate the need to enter into executive session to discuss some personnel matters. So we will be entering executive session. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. First, second, Ms. Hahn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you all. Okay. Y'all picked a good meeting tonight.